Drax wasn't meant to be a destroyer. He was meant to be a dad. It was either Gamora or Mantis.
Nebula. I thought it was Nebula.
Oh, Nebula said it. Nebula said it. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah, towards the end, yeah.
Yeah.
That whew.
As a dad,
Just
how does that hit?
oh my god, that
Yeah.
was one of the scenes I teared up on, man.
Yeah.
Just because the way he's portrayed again, it's his name, Drax the Destroyer, right?
Yep.
He's like this super intense character, super uh humorous when he wants to be, but also but then the other side is like super serious and won't take any crap from no one, right?
Yep.
And then just the scene where he interacts with the kids on Counter Earth,
Mm-hmm.
or was it Counter Earth?
On
Yeah,
the
no,
ship. Yeah.
on the ship when he starts communicating with them, and then Nebula and Mansion's like, "Wait, what the heck? Like,
Yeah.
you speak what
Their
they
language.
speak?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and just him doing that because they were all freaked out with Nebula and Mantis, right?
Yeah.
And just the way he kind of like calmed them down and kind of befriended them
Yeah.
and uh just was able to kind of ease their nerves. I thought that
Yeah.
was a great scene.
Yeah.
Um,
I, I think it's like his whole story. Like people forget that the whole reason he joined the Guardians when he was in the prison was because his wife and daughter were taken from
daughter,
him from
yeah,
Thanos by Thanos, and that's why he was on this mission to kill Thanos.
yeah,
And uh it's just like the rage that he had, that's what it came from, right?
yeah,
So after Thanos is gone, after he's found his own new family with the Guardians, is like where to place that energy. And it's like he's putting it back into being a dad, because that is what he was meant to be from the beginning. And
hmm,
obviously myself as a dad, like I felt that, like I always said Drax was one of my favorite Guardians, because uh I like the brutes, right? Like Hulk is my favorite superhero, so obviously I really like Drax. But there's just this nuance to him in both that, and he's obviously on the spectrum. But he means good in what he does. It's just the only way he knows how to do it, how to express himself, is through fighting. And
yeah,
when it came to that scene where he was like, "You never asked if I knew how to like their language," and they're like, "Okay, yeah, like we need to remember who we're talking to, right? It's Drax. He
yeah,
means well. He's trying to do good." And yeah, and you see it. You also see it at the very end, when he starts dancing and he joins along. Because at the
yeah,
beginning of the film, he says like "dancing's for idiots" or something like that.
hmm,
I remember one of the other movies he makes fun of Peter for dancing. I think it was in the first Guardians, and he even mentions that the reason he fell in love with his wife in the first place was because everyone was dancing and she would just be sitting still.
yeah,
And so it's just kind of that, to go full circle, and then him finally joining in the dance with like a new family and with all those kids, is just like, yeah, it was awesome to see his story being completed.
yeah. There was
Yeah.
even that. I mean, there's that scene in the end of Guardians 1 where Baby Groot, he's
Just dancing.
dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then every time Drax would look at him, he would stop because Groot knew like how much he hated dancing,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
And just to see that final scene where he just kind
Joins in.
of, yeah, and he's gonna do it, right?
Yeah, he's
But
like slowly
it took
moving.
the build up to it
It
was
took three
great. I
movies.
think, yeah. Well, even just in that moment alone, right? You knew he was gonna dance, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't know when he was gonna break out or what he was gonna do. And I think they took advantage of the fact that we knew how much he hated dancing, but the fact that they were gonna allow him to do it in this movie, or
Hmm.
that he was gonna do it in this movie willingly,
Yeah.
was great.
Yeah.
Um,
That was awesome.